Hello everybody, welcome to my little corner of the world. So, today is going to be a bit of a different video. All the videos you guys have been seeing from me since the beginning that I've been posting have been like vlog, more lifestyle videos, those types of videos. But today I wanted to sit down with you guys and we're going to talk about something that I don't say is talked about a lot on YouTube, only by like few people. We are going to be talking about loneliness. More specifically, being a loner. And to be more specific, today we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons of being a loner. Now, before we get started, I'm going to give you guys the definition of what is a loner. So, it's a very short definition, but according to Google, a loner is a person who prefers not to associate with others, aka your average introvert. So I would consider myself somewhat of a loner, and I would also consider myself somewhat of an introvert. I'd say I'm more of an ambivert, because if you put me in a social gathering, depending on the people that are there, I'm going to seem off like I'm pretty extroverted. Now, I've never always been an introverted person or a lonely person. I used to be really, really, really extroverted. But then some things happened in my life that made me just really take a step back from society, take a step back from like my family, from my friends, from like all the things that I love. It affected me so much that I kind of just stayed in that lane for a really long time. And it just kind of became like this normal routine for me, to the point where it turned me from a really extroverted person to a really introverted person. Enough about me. We are now going to get into the reason you're watching this video. The pros and the cons of being a loner slash introvert, I guess you could say. Alright, so I wrote everything down on this little notebook. First, we're going to start out with cons. I gotta give you your vegetables first before I can give you dessert. Con number 1, feeling of loneliness slash feeling you're all alone. This one is kind of self-explanatory. When you become a more introverted person, you don't really have anyone to go to when you're feeling sad. You don't really have anyone to talk to. So then you kind of feel like you don't have anybody by your side. You don't have anybody that has your back. And that's where like the loneliness feeling comes to play. Con number 2 is you have very little friends or you have no friends. This one's also kind of self-explanatory, because you prefer to not associate with others or socialize with others. It's difficult to like make new friends. Therefore, like you either stick with the friends you already have or you decide to just not make any friends. Number 3 is judgment, okay? Lots of people are going to judge you for being a loner or being an introvert, especially extroverts. And I'm telling you right now, literally give no fucks. Number 4, this was an important one because at the beginning of my extrovert to introvert transition, I felt this so freaking much, and that's FOMO. I've thought about this a lot, and this has happened to me a lot. I think about this all the time, where it's like, damn, I'm like missing out on like all the things that like I should be doing as a teenager. Do have that fear sometimes where it's like, damn, like all these other people are gonna like have these super cool stories to tell their kids as like what they did in high school and what they did with their friends. Meanwhile, me, I'm not gonna have any cool stories to tell them, because literally all I did in my teenage years was stay in my room, watch movies, read books, and make YouTube videos. What the fuck? Alright, and the last two kind of go together, so I'm actually going to put them in one point. Social anxiety slash antisocial tendency. What I mean by social anxiety, it's like you could be so enwrapped by yourself. When you do go out and when you do have to socialize, it's like you get nervous and you get this like anxious feeling of like, oh my god, like what if I say this wrong, or like what if I don't do this, what if they don't like me? Like you start thinking about what everybody like is thinking about you, when in reality literally nobody cares. Get that social anxiety because you're not used to being out there. You know what I mean? And that can lead to antisocial tendency, which is basically just starting to avoid people. Like just really starting to avoid society, anything that has to do with like socializing or anything. Like you start to avoid all of that because you gained social anxiety from being by yourself all the time. Let's say that you basically forgot how to socialize. Alrighty, so those are all the cons. We're going to move on to the pros. Wow. Number one is you have time to get to know yourself. Oh my goodness. Every single day I learn something new about myself that I didn't know for like 15 years of my life. Because I became like a introvert, like I think almost like 2-3 years ago. You really take a step back and you're like, oh my gosh, like I really didn't like know myself. Like I know other people better than myself. When I started to hang out by myself a lot more often, I was kind of like in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know this about myself. Like I didn't know I had this tendency. I didn't know I did this. I didn't know this bothered me because I was so focused on other people and getting to know other people than getting to know myself. Alright, number two, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Let's say that you want to go to the movies with a friend and you want to watch this one certain movie, but your friends are like, ew, no, like I don't want to watch that movie. So then you have to watch a movie that they want to watch that you didn't want to watch, and then you go and then you don't like it. Girl, you don't have to worry about that. Alright, this one kind of goes hand with the previous one. But number three would be being able to make your own choices and decisions without the opinions of others or the manipulation of others. Pretty self-explanatory. You can make your own decisions without other people manipulating you to change your form of thinking. You are in control of your own life. You're in control of your own choices, of your own decisions. Number four, this one kind of goes in hand with the first one. You have time to develop and work on yourself. I think I have grown so much as a person and I have matured so much just by being by myself and just from removing myself from people and stuff like that. My train of thought has changed so much. My opinions have changed so much. I have matured so much from when I used to be a more extroverted person. I took the time to really learn about myself, therefore develop myself, like upgrade myself. And thanks to that, I am now the person that I am today. If you don't prioritize yourself, no one else can prioritize you. It's kind of like that saying. It's like if you don't love yourself, no one else can love you. It's the same thing for everything else. If you don't work on yourself, no one else is going to work on you. If you don't prioritize yourself, no one else is going to prioritize you. I said what I said. In order to love yourself, you have to work on yourself. You have to develop yourself. And in order to develop yourself and to work on yourself, you have to get to know yourself. It's all tied together, baby. It's all tied together. Next pro is staying clear of the drama and or problems of the outside world. This is like one of the things that I love the most about being introverted or a lonely person. I love the fact that I'm not in anybody's drama. It's so refreshing to not be involved with dramatic people and to just not be worrying about things that that are none of your business or stuff like that. Your mind is like cleared, literally. I used to be so stressed back then. And I always wonder, like, why am I so stressed? It's because I was carrying other people's drama around. I was like, girl, I should have like become an introvert so much sooner, because oh my goodness. That just also kind of put me into perspective of like how involved I was in other people's lives and how uninvolved I was in my own life. And I was like, girl, that's crazy. That's really crazy. And last but certainly not least is you get to choose who you want to put up with, slash you don't have to put up with certain people. If you don't like someone, you don't have to put up with them just because your other friends do. You get to keep your mental peace. Alrighty guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be seeing you guys next time. Make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to comment down below what else you would like to see from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.